Right. So we discuss about the process state, process transition diagram, and we are going to talk about how this thing is going to draw. Right. Hari. Okay, ma'am, balala kiyanna. Right. So yeah. Now you know about the states. We talked about the states last week. A process can have a new state. Process can have a ready or waiting state. Then process can have a running state, and a process can have a block state due to a blocking, due to a IO wait, and process can have a terminated state once it is done, and process can have this additional two states called the swept out and block and swept out and waiting, right? Now, how we are going to remember this, how we are going to argue with this thing, right? So this is the way we are going to remember this. Now it's kind of a story, right? Kind of a story means like you are just thinking about what's going to happen with a particular process, right? So when a program is in execution, we know a process will be created. So the first state that it can have is the created, or we can say it has new, the state, right? So we can have that state using an oval, right? And I told you this is an instant state. So it's just happens and it changes its states to the waiting or ready state at once it is created. So it's just create, then quickly move into the RAM, then it will be having a state called waiting or ready, right? So that is illustrated as this. So once a process is been created, the state called created or new is been assigned, then it will be admit to where? Admit into the RAM, random access memory, or the main memory. So this is the margin that defines the main memory or RAM, right? So here you are going to have a state called ready, or we call it waiting, one of those, right? So you are going to have a state called ready. I'm sorry. Right? Sometimes we call this waiting. Right? So this is the state once it is reaches to the main memory. Right? So when a particular process having a ready state, it can dispatch, right? Dispatch කරනවා කියලා කියන්නේ අපි නේද යවනවා කියන එක, right? So it can dispatch to the CPU by assigning the running state. So you can have the running state. It is due to a dispatch. So if a particular process is given a specific time period to run inside the CPU, once it is been out of that time, so that means once that time is elapsed or due to a timeout, the running state of a particular process will be changed into the waiting state, because the time that is given on the CPU is over for the moment. So then again, the process will be moved to the RAM. So once it is moved to the RAM, there is no running state inside it. So it is given the waiting state again. දැන් අපි මේ diagram එකේ running කියන එක පෙන්වන්නේ main memory එක ඇතුලේ තමයි. මොකද ඒකත් හරියට අර instantly හැදෙන state එකක් වගේ. running කියලා මාරු කරා CPU එක ඇතුලට තල්ලු කරා. right? ඒතර CPU එක ඇතුලේ දීලා තියෙන time එක ඉවර වුණොත් waiting කියලා change කරා ටක් ගාලා RAM එකට දැම්මා. Right? So we are talking about the states, right? Process එකකට එන්න පුළුවන් states. Right? the process එක එකේ label එකක් අලවලා තියෙනවා නම් මෙයා මොන තත්වයේද දැන් ඉන්නේ කියලා. So we are talking about that. So if a particular process is done running, so it will be released and will be given a state called terminated. Terminated. Right? So this is the normal process that should happen to a particular process when it comes to run. It will be created and it will wait until it's given the chance to run, then it will run. So once it is done, it will be released. So it will be having a state called terminated, right? But in a modern computer, process is not always running by itself. Itself means like running without the help of any others. It will always take the help from many different things. So specifically from inputs and output devices. So when a particular process is running, sometimes it may require things from an input output device. So when something is required like that, that process need to stay without doing anything inside the CPU, as we talked last time. So operating system does not like this. Operating system always like to see someone is running inside the CPU. If someone gets idling, operating system will swap that idling process into the RAM again. So from the running state, a particular process can be given a state called blocked due to an input-output wait, right? Or sometimes we call it due to an interruption. I'm sorry, not the interruption, due to a system call. Right? If you, no, not me actually, if the operating system block a particular process due to IO wait, it will not allow the the process which has the block state to be run inside the CPU at once. Kelima block state එකේ ඉඳලා running වලට එන්න දෙන්නේ නැහැ. Once it is moved to the block state, if the input output wait is done or completed, so then it will be given the state which is called ready again. So that means it is ready to run. So it is happening due to the IO completion, right? When input output is completed, the block state will be changed into the state ready, will not be sent or will not be changed its state to the running at once due to the IO completion. It will change to the ready. So later that ready state can be again changed into the running and will be given the chance to run inside the CPU. Okay. Is it clear, people? So far? How the states are being changed? Is that clear? Okay, great. So all these things happens inside the main memory, right? So it is inside the main memory, or we can say we are inside the RAM. Now I told you RAM is a place where operating system maintains without being crowded, right? සෙනග පිරෙන්න දෙන්නේ නැහැ. processors වලින් පිරලා crowded වෙන්න දෙන්නේ නැහැ මෙයා. operating system එක. So RAM is crowded due to two different reasons. One reason is there can be processors which are being blocked, right? And there can be processors which has the waiting state. The create වෙලා ඇවිල්ලා run වෙන්න බලාගෙන ඉන්නවා. ඔන්න ඔය දෙන්න නිසා තමයි RAM එක පිරෙන්නේ. And if the operating system sees that the RAM is being crowded and there are more processors are being created and they are tend to come into the RAM. අලුතෙන් කට්ටිය හැදෙනවා. ඒගොල්ලෝ දැන් එන්න හදන්නේ. RAM එක හොඳටම crowded. Block වෙච්ච කට්ටියක් ඉන්නවා, wait වෙච්ච කට්ටියක් ඉන්නවා මේක ඇතුළේ. Right? So operating system does the trick with the help of the storage devices, or actually the hard disk, or we can say it is the virtual memory. Virtual memory කියන්නේ hard disk එකට කියන තව නමක් නෙවෙයි, but virtual memory එක create කරගන්න operating system use a portion of the hard disk, right? That is why virtual memory is taken. So what the operating system does is it will suspend the blocked state processors into the hard disk and will give a new state called swapped out and blocked. This is purely done to reduce the crowdedness or to free the memory, in other words, in the RAM, right? Then later, if the crowdedness is done or like it's been reduced, again, operating system will activate the particular suspended process into its previous state, which is the blocked. Right? So crowd වෙනකොට suspend කරනවා, crowdness අඩු වුණාම ආයෙත් restore කරනවා කලින් තිබ්බ state එකටම. So this is a blocked process, regarding a blocked process. Now there is a process regarding a waiting processors as well, right? So it has a separate state called swapped out and waiting, right? So let me write the IO complete over here. Right? So there is another state called swapped out and waiting. Now this state is for the waiting processors, right? Again, if the RAM needs to be free or the main memory needs to be free, the waited processors will be suspended and given the state swapped out and waiting. So where it's going to suspend? To the hard disk. So it will be suspended. Later, if the crowdness is done, it will be activated. Okay. People, is that clear? Why we need to be swapped? Right, not we actually. Why operating system needs to be swapped? The state of the processes. Is that clear? Okay, brilliant. Now look at the picture. We got the picture in our notebook and there are some more to be filled out. So what is going on? Now think about this block state processors. It can be in the RAM because of being blocked. It can be inside the hard disk because it is being swapped. Now we never know when the input output is going to complete. Block කෙනෙක් RAM එකේ ඉන්නකොටත් එයාගේ input output එයා request කරපු එක complete වෙන්නත් පුළුවන්. And as well as input output can be completed while that blocked process being swapped to the hard disk. Hard disk එකේ ඉන්නකොට IO completion එක වෙන්න පුළුවන්. If the IO completion happens when it is being swapped to the hard disk, the state will be changed to the swapped out and waiting due to the IO completion or the IO complete. Right? So then later it will be swapped back to the RAM, to the waiting state, then will be given the chance to run, and then it will done its work. Right? So this is what happened when the memory is very crowded, and if it needs to, if operating system thinks that memory needs to be free for some other processes, so it will do the swapped out and swapping processes, right? Now there can be a situation, the swapping is also take part, right? Swap කරන එකත් වෙනවා, but still the RAM is too crowded, right? Again, swap කරන එකත් වෙනවා, swap කරාටත් manage කරගන්න අමාරුයි. RAM එක තාම too busy. On that case, when a particular process is created, it will be directly admitted to the virtual memory and give the state called swapped out and waiting. Right? This happens when the RAM is still too busy, even the swapping takes place. Right? Now this completes the 7-state diagram. People, is that clear? Okay. Now you should have this thought. Now, who is helping? Is it only the operating system that involved in these things, or anyone else is helping to do this? There are other programs which help in the operating system to do this task. Do what task? To change the states and helping him to send the processes into the CPU and taking the process from the CPU again to the main memory. And there are some other program which help to do the swapping, and there is another program which help to do the admission part. Now these things are called the schedulers, right? They are the people who schedule the things with the help of operating system, right? So there are 3 types of schedulers which we are going to talk along the note. And these 3 schedulers can be nicely illustrated from this thing, right? So this admission is a responsibility, or will be shared actually, right? Will be given the help from the scheduler called long-term scheduler, right? So admission is done by long-term scheduler. Right? Now you can remember that thing. අපි school admit කරන්නේ අපේ අම්මලා තාත්තලානේ. So they are admitting us to the school with a very big vision, with a very long vision, right? එතකොට long-term scheduler තමයි admission වලට responsible වෙන්නේ සහ උදව් වෙන්නේ. සාමාන්‍යයෙන් නේද අම්මලා තාත්තලා අතර ඔයගොල්ලන්ට කියලා ඇති ගොඩක් වෙලාවට ටීචර්ස්ලත් කියලා ඇති නේද? ඉක්මන් කොටයි කියන. Right? So I can high-eng වැඩ කරන එක හොඳයි. ගොඩක් high-eng වැඩ කරන්න එපා. එතකොට සමහර දේවල් miss වෙන්න පුළුවන්. නේද? high run කරනවා කියන්නේ. So running වලට උදව් කරන කෙනා dispatch කරන්නයි time out කරන වැඩ වලට උදව් කරන්නේ. We call it the short term schedule. එතකොට ඉක්මන් කොටයි කියන එකෙන් මතක තියාගන්න පුළුවන්. Right? So the dispatching part and timeout part, it is helped by the short-term scheduler. Right? These are just programs in the operating system to help the operating system. Right? And the swapping process. The swapping process is done by someone called mid-term schedule. Right? So it is easy to remember. Right? Long-term scheduler is there to do the admission part. Dispatch and timeouting part is doing the short-term scheduler. Like doing means like with the help of the short-term scheduler, we'll be doing the dispatching and the timeouting part. With the help of the mid-term scheduler, we can do the swapping part. Right? So keep that in mind. You may need those things when we are talking along the node. And now people, I'm not going to describe about this new state, ready and waiting state. Those are the things that we have discussed in last week as well as now, right? So you can read it out, right? And this swept out and waiting, swept out and block, yeah, that is done. So we talk about the process transitions as well. So transition means like the transit in between the status. Right? So here I'm going to introduce you something called process control block. Let's talk about this and we can end the session for today. Right? Now, process control block is kind of a notebook. Map කරගත්තොත් දැන් notebook එකට අපලා ඇත්තටම record book එකක්. ඔයගලන්ට ඉස්කෝලේදී each and every student has their own record book. Right? It shows what is your name and all these things and what are the term test marks, and it simply gives some information about you. So process control block is something like that. For each and every process inside the operating system where it creates, where the program is going to create, has their own process control blocks. In short term, we call PCBs. So if you are finding 1,000 processors running inside in the computer, so you will find 1,000 process control blocks as well. For each and every process, there will be a process control block or a PCB. Right? Now this PCB has some important information, and again, PCB changes its structure from operating system to operating system. Right? Windows is having a particular PCB, and Mac OS is having their particular PCB. Linux operating system is having their particular PCB. Even though the structures are changed from operating system to operating system, the details, the information that they are storing, there are some common things, like there are some additional things that they are storing, like when it comes to the different kinds of operating systems. But again, there are some common features, like there are more common information that a PCB, that every PCB is storing in each and every different operating system. So those are the features that I have illustrated you in this table. So PCB contains a process state, which indicates what kind of a state that this process belongs to. Then අපි states ගැන කතා කරන්නේ. So Now, whenever the process is going to change its states, PCB is going to be updated. Can ඔයගලන්ගේ report card එක නේද? දැන් ඔයගලන්ගේ performance වැඩි වෙනකොට record book එකේ performance ලියවෙන්න පුළුවන් ඔයගලන්ගේ SRB එකේ student record book. Right? So if you got like me the term test එකේ score කරන ලකුණු ටික SRB එකේ ලියවෙනවා. So it's a updation of yourself. So likewise, when a process changes its state, the PCB is updated. So PCBs keep the track of this process in which one. So, okay, now it is created. So PCB record, okay, created. Then it's moved to the RAM and changed the state into the running. So PCB is updated. Now it is not created. Now it is running. Now it is waiting. So then the operating system gives the chance to run that particular process inside the CPU. So PCB is updated, okay, not waiting, now he is running, right? Then that particular process can be blocked due to some reason. So then PCB again updates, okay, now it is not running, it is being blocked, right? So likewise, process state, as well as process ID. Process ID is there to identify the processes from each other. Right, that is why process IDs are used. So it is being recorded as well. Program counter. Program counter is a registry which is inside the CPU and helping the process to execute the instructions inside it one by one. Program එකක් process එකක් කියලා කියන්නේ instructions ගොඩක එකතුවක්. පේලියෙන් පේලිය කියලා තියෙනවා මේක කරන්න මේක කරන්න කියලා. අපි program එකක් අපි create කරනවා කියලා කියන්නේ we are doing the same thing. We are giving the instruction to the computer, do this, then after do this, then after do this, likewise. So program counter will keep the track of the instruction which needs to be executed as the next instruction. ඊළඟට ක්‍රියාත්මක වෙන්න ඕන instruction එක ගැන detail එක තියාගෙන ඉන්නේ PC එක. So process control block is looking at the PC and they are just updating the PCB, process control block. What is going to be happen next, right? As well as the CPU registries, which belongs or like which where that process needs to involve when it is being an execution, right? And memory management information, like how much of memory is given to this particular process and what is the segment that is available for that particular process. And there is something called page table and the details of those page tables, right? And the memory allocation, how much of space that this particular process is given. All the things will be recorded on the PCB, right? And as well as input-output status information. So if a particular process needs to be interact with the input and output device, so the status of those things will be recorded into the relevant PCB, right? So PCB contains those kind of information, and at the below I have shown you another structure of the PCB. So table එකේ තියෙන most common features or like most common details. So this PCB contains something more than that. Process ID is there, status is there, there is something called pointer, there is something called priorities, again program counter, CPU registers, input output information, and accounting information is there. So likewise, PCBs can be changed from operating system to operating system, but these details are common, right? So why PCB is there? To track a particular process regarding the things that is being performed. Okay, is that clear, people? Everyone? Right, great. Okay, so by next week, I'm going to start the lesson from operating systems. So we have to talk about a very important concept called context switching. So after the context switching, we are going to talk about the schedulers that we talked about a little bit earlier. Long-term schedulers, medium-term, short-term, in detail, we are going to talk about it. Then after, we can get to know about these terms and the scheduling policies. Likewise, we can continue. So anyway, by next week, I'm going to start it from the operating system. Then I'm moving to the gates to do its very last things, right? Okay, so I'm going to end the session from here, people. So thank you very much for being here, right? And I'll see you on next week for the very same time, right? Thank you very much, everyone, right? Have a very nice weekend. Okay, okay. Thank you, Netmi. Thank you, Akila. Okay, everyone. Thank you very much. Thank you very much.